Well, we have been talking a lot this month about stress, different ways to cope, identify. With this, of course, being Stress Awareness Month, it's important to stop and think about the role stress plays in your life. So many people say they are overwhelmed, but what if your stress isn't actually about how much you have to do? Our next guest says it may have more to do with who you feel like you have to be while you're trying to carry it all. We are joined by organizational psychologist Dr. Natalie Pickering to explain what that means. It is great to have you on the show.
Thank you. Yes.
I love that this is like everybody's kind of taking access of where is our stress in our life. What role does that play?
It's huge. In fact, a recent survey on stress in America, which talks about what people are stressed about, number one, economics, right?
Okay.
Just the basics, groceries,
Yes.
housing. People are stressed about the political situation. At work, people are stressed by this corporate culture, do more with less,
Yes.
the AI, evolution, those kinds of things. So stress is everywhere. There are those external factors, but there's also internal factors.
I feel like if you're not stressed, people think there must be something wrong with me.
That's
because
true.
everybody else is stressed. So I'm not doing it right if I'm not stressed out.
Yes, and I think part of that is it's almost like we're normalizing it, right? This frog in a kettle, and I think we do need to step back and reconsider, right? And we want to validate the external stresses, but there are internal things that we fall into that I think create more stress, so to speak, those stories that we tell ourselves.
And you said it doesn't necessarily correlate with how busy we are.
Exactly, right? So there's all this stress happening, but then what am I telling myself in relationship to that, right? I think the problem is sometimes my self gets connected to the situation. So if I'm not answering all the emails and hitting the project deadlines, then I'm not valuable to the organization. Right now, I've got this story about me in this stress situation. That's not helpful.
Not helpful. So what does that look like in real life? How can we make those changes to change that equation?
Yep. So I think number one, separating that situation from self. And I think a really practical way of addressing this is to ask for help, right? I think there's also this sort of badge of honor that we carry about how much stress, to your point of normalizing in the culture. And even if it's something small, I think asking for help is a great way to remind us that we're not in it all by ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Natalie, if I didn't have a community, I could
Exactly.
not.
Exactly.
Whether it's other moms, whether it's your mom, to
Yes.
create that and feel comfortable asking, and then maybe being there for others when they need it as well.
That's right. So that, that self-reliance piece is one of those identity narratives. If we're holding too tightly to that, I can do it by myself. I should be able to do this by myself. I ought to be able to handle all of these things. That's dangerous, right? And so asking for help, reaching out to the community, right? Not letting this outcome define who I am.
Yeah. And you said too, for those who are high performance,
Yep.
those who are kind of, those people really tend to have a hard time because it's harder for them to ask for that help.
It's true. We actually just saw this in the Masters tournament last week. Sergio Garcia, right, final round, he loses his mind, right, snaps the head off of his driver.
We might have saw that.
Yes, and I think that is toxic stress, right? So a high performer, top of his game, right?
Yeah.
I have to perform. This is who I am. It's been reinforced his whole life, right? In this incredibly successful high performance. So if the outcome, right, whether it's for him a shot, right, whether it's for us, how our kids are doing, how we're doing at work, whatever those outcomes are, we've got to not connect that to our identity.
So take that deep breath, and
Yes.
it feels good. And as you are getting your takeaways, I guess, we're almost done with April now. Hopefully we've learned some different strategies. And I love that you're just able to talk about it and let people know that, it's okay to identify, to have it.
It is.
But find what works for you.
That's right. That's right. So awareness, right? what is causing my stress, how much of it is outside of me, how much of it is inside of me. Then, right, how do I want to rewrite those narratives? So, you know what? I am a high performer, I am a high contributor, and I have healthy limits. I'm going to say to my boss, I think we need to reevaluate the deadline, right? So that behavior, right, we're not falling into staying up at 2 in the morning to finish all of the things.
Yeah.
We're going to set a limit, and I'm still a high performer.
Isn't that great? I feel like we've all been on the couch with Natalie for a few minutes. That's such an important topic. We really appreciate you joining us. Great
Absolutely.
insight as we navigate today's world.
Thank
Going to
you.
give everybody her website, drnataliepickering.com, for more information. She tackles a lot of different subjects. You can catch that on her website. Great to have you.
Thanks so much.